Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Real Talk with Tian podcast. This is a podcast dishing all the dirt on the realities of running a creative business. My name is Tian and I'm a designer, technical editor, and business coach. See, since leaving corporate almost a decade ago, I've been doing this amazing work full time. It hasn't always been easy, but it has always been totally worth it. Over the years, I've had the amazing opportunities to work with hundreds of makers just like you and tons of big brands. This has given me a front row seat to what it takes to be successful as a creative business. With this podcast, I'm drawing back the curtains to share with you the behind the scenes of the realities of what it's really like, what it takes to run a successful and fulfilling creative business. Welcome to the conversation. Grab a cup of tea or your favorite beverage. It's time for some real talk. Hey there, Tian here, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk with Tian podcast. Today we are talking about why you are focusing on the wrong thing. And as designers, we try to do all the things. We try to be everywhere. We try to do the things that have the biggest impact on our business. And one of the things that I've seen with my coaching clients and with members of Pattern Partnership is that you shouldn't be focused on getting on Ravelry's Hot Right Now list, right? And the reason for that is that the Ravelry Hot Right Now list doesn't mean anything. It's just a vanity metrics that doesn't matter. And that status that you've been chasing for weeks and months and years, at the end of the day, wanting to be on the front page of Ravelry's Hot Right Now list doesn't even mean a thing. It doesn't mean anything. And I'm not trying to be a hater. I am not trying to discount those designers out there who are putting in the work day in and day out to make consistent pattern sales. Those designers are busting their butts, making numbers to get on that list legitimately, right? This is not what that conversation is about. And also, this conversation is not about dissing Ravelry, because Ravelry has been instrumental in leveling the playing field so that self-publishing designers like myself and so many like me have an outlet for our work without gatekeepers. Ravelry has made churning designing into a actual business a possibility. So this is not what this conversation is about, because Ravelry at the end of the day has allowed voices that wouldn't have been heard, who did not have access to be on this level playing field and to be seen and to be heard. What I do want to talk about are designers wasting time chasing this vanity metrics. Designers focus on the wrong things when they should be focused on actually going out there and making consistent pattern sales. Because at the end of the day, being ranked on Ravelry Hot Right Now list doesn't mean much unless you're actually making pattern sales. You're actually selling patterns. Look, the stats are cute. When you have that screenshot that you can show on your social media, that's cute. But if you're not actually making pattern sales, what's the point? So let's focus on building a brand that your audience can gravitate to so that you can be making pattern sales today, tomorrow, next week, and months to come, right? So stop worrying about those vanity matrix and focus on making real connections with your audience, and then getting your patterns into the hands of those people who want what you have to offer. And when you do that, you make connections and get your patterns into the hands of knitters and crocheters who want it. That's a matrix that's actually worth chasing. So no, you might not see me chatting it up on social media talking about, I hit the list of Hot Right Now patterns on Ravelry, because for me and for the students that I work with, it's not what matters, right? What matters is the connection we're making with our audience and the value we're providing to the people who want what we have to offer. And at the end of the day, it is those things that lead to consistent sales. because that hot right now list can change in an instant, literally. And we're not here for that. We're here for long-lasting businesses, creating brands that stand the test of time, and not just something that's a flash in the pan that's here today and gone tomorrow. So what does it take to build a brand that makes consistent pattern sales? Well, it starts with you. You need to treat what you're doing like it's an actual business. You need to show up for your audience and to show up consistently. You need to engage your audience and provide value. Show up and serve. Show up and provide solution to their problem. And yes, your designs, you solve a problem for your ideal audience, and you have to be clear on what that problem is that you solve and create messaging around how your pattern solves that problem. Because when you have a solid brand, you don't need vanity metrics like Ravelry hot right now list, right? You don't have to play those games because sales come in and that's what matters. So even though you might not be on Ravelry hot right now list, that doesn't matter, right? When you have a solid brand, you don't need vanity metrics. You don't have to play those games because sales come even though you might not be on the hot right now list. So even if you never get on the hot right now list, that's okay. That is not the end for you. Because when you have a solid brand with loyal fans and you're making consistent and predictable sales, you're showing up and providing values to the lives of your audience, that hot right now list won't even matter. Because at the end of the day, it's about making an impact and making sales and not the appearance that matters most. Because we're not here to just sit around and look like we have all these things going for us when in reality, we're not doing it. Okay? So focus on the things that matters most, which is building your brand and making connections with your audience, and that will generate sales. Hot right now list, it might look cute. It might be, something to share, but if it's not bringing you actual sales and revenue, it doesn't matter, and it's not something we should be focusing on. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you need more support along the way on your design journey, please check out our Pattern Partnership membership group. You can find us at tianconneton.com/pattern-partnership. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to another episode of the podcast all the way to the end. Everything we mentioned will be listed in the show notes at tianconneton.com/realtalkwithtian. If you have questions on anything I've mentioned, or if you just want to book a coaching session, go to tianconneton.com/contact-us to get in touch. You got this.